Um, I'm happy with my whole training camp, my preparation. I could, people think sometimes I know there's a lot of people that they think that I cannot striking or fight a wrestler, and this fight was just to prove that I'm a better man, and I'm a different guy now. I could learn from my mistakes, and I'm here better. Like I said, moving forward. I'm not gonna stay stuck in the past. It's about what I'm gonna do right now to the future.
So you mentioned the fight camp. Was there something different this fight camp that maybe you haven't had in the past?
Yeah, a lot of things. I fixed some personal issues, some technical issues. Like all fighters in the world, we, especially in MMA, we have a lot of holes in our game. So it's about to correct our mistakes. And for this fight specifically, I trained at a lot of grappling. But yeah, it was a striking match, 100% in the striking. But I did a lot of grappling, a lot of specific training for Chris, because I knew he has a hell of a wrestling and grappling background.
So this sounds like this wasn't the way you kind of pictured the fight going, is it?
Yes, exactly. But I was prepared for all aspects of the fight. But yeah, to be honest, I wasn't expecting a striking fight. But thank God I won the fight.
Did this go better than you had thought?
Yes, yes, because we always think about the worst situation that we can go through the fight, and I felt really loose, light, smooth, and today in that cage, I felt that I was too strong, too much. I was like. I was loose. I was seeing everything. I could be faster than Chris, stronger than Chris, and even when we went toe to toe in the grappling, I could see everything. So yeah, it was a good performance.
And what about those fans? The crowd went crazy when you did that knockout, and I think sitting up there myself, having not heard that for a long time, how'd that feel?
Wow, felt great. Felt great. That best day of the year so far. Last time fighting in the Mohegan Sun, and it was like, it was strange. It was weird because there's no crowd. I like the energy of the crowd, even though I could see a lot of people that I was cheering for Chris, because I think he's from here, for California, but American crowd is super respectful, and they cheer for both fighters. And that's what I love. I love to see that they're happy with my performance. I want to bring some entertainment for inside the cage, so I was really happy.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the victory. I know the last time you came to the forum didn't go your way. Was it extra special to kind of come back to the scene of the crime and this time get your hand raised in this way for that reason in particular?
Yes. It's always a reason to come back stronger, and this time was exactly what I did. Doesn't matter if I lost my last time here. I knew that I would come back, and I would I could change the last performance that I had here.
Well, so obviously we got coming up right now Brent Primus and Islam Mamedov. I think, we talked about it. This is a big night for the lightweight division to stand out and send a message to Patricio.
Yeah.
First off, what do you think happens? Do you think Brent gets it done?
Yeah, honestly, I never saw the other guy fighting. I don't even know his name, because I don't know if his debut here in Bellator. But I know Brent, he's a former champion. He's, I think... talking about experience, I think Brent, he got this tonight. But when I talk about experience, it's not about how much fights you have in your shirt dog, because we see a lot of even Brazilians, Russians, they have a crazy MMA record. But you see, if you figure out the opponent, it's they're fighting nobody. I know he fights Bellator, a long time. I know he took some tough fights. So, like I said, I don't know nothing about the other opponent, but I bet in Brent Primus.
There's a lot of talk about what is going to happen after tonight. If AJ wins, do they rematch 155? If Patricio wins, does he fight? Does he do something with his twin brother? They make a belt. I mean, you're right here. What do you think, just what do you think of everything? How do you just take all that? You know what's going on, but you focus on yourself. How do you sort it out?
I prefer to answer this question in after 3 hours because tonight would be crazy. I think, after my fight, after this fight, and after Patricio's fight, a lot of things are gonna happen. So I'm just excited to see what is next for all of us.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, sir. What did you learn, or did you learn anything from that? Your last, I'll call it "quote unquote" loss. Was there anything you took away from that carried over to tonight?
Yeah. I don't take anything for granted. I just, this is the life. Life happens. Even though me and most people, they don't think that was a fair decision. I think it's there's always a lesson. It's a light, not in the fight game, but the life wants to teach you something that you have to, Sometimes your issues, your problems, not inside the cage, inside the gym, but it's also outside, and for sure it's going to reflect inside the cage. So I think that the fight was to correct some mistake that I had outside the cage.
And what do you need to do to get a title shot in Bellator?
Good performance. I think I have to show all my abilities like I did today. I have to show people what they want to see. That's what, winning big fights, winning good fights. That's, I think this is what, is going to make me go to the title shot.
All right, we'll take a couple more questions here. Connor, your line is now live.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. You're known for your grappling credentials. What kind of message do you feel like you sent to the division tonight as far as your striking is concerned?
Yeah, like I said, I was training a lot of grappling to this camp, but I was kind of happy that all the fight developed in striking because people don't believe me, but I prefer to strike than grapple. I think because I did a lot of grappling in my life, a lot of tournaments. I think at least more than 200 fights in grappling. So I'm just kind of, I want to show how good I am in striking. So it was good. It was a good night for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gonzalez had a lot of hype going in, but he wasn't in the rankings. Where do you feel like this victory kind of puts you in the rankings? Do you think this moves you up?
Yeah, absolutely. It will. Even though he's not in the rankings, he's I know Chris is he's good. It's just it's not just it wasn't his time. I think he'll grow up in this division, in this company, and he'll be someday he can be a champion. It's about don't give up, and I respect him a lot. He brought the best of myself. He brought my best version because I could see that he could offer a lot of dangers in the fight, and all I see is a bright future for Chris. In answering your question, yes, I think I'll be I don't know, 1 or 2 or maybe 3 positions in the rankings. It was a good victory. We'll see. It's not up to me, but I can't wait to see the rankings.
Jesse?
Congratulations. What was the strategy behind coming into this fight? And can you break down what you saw when you countered him with the left hook? I was kind of far away and I didn't really get a good vantage point, but what did you see as a fighter? What was it? What did you see and how did you expose that opening?
I didn't have a specific strategy, but it's always always what I try to bring in the cage. It's just my best. Of course, you have to know what your opponents do the best and what in the holes in his games. You got to pay attention. But I think for this fight, I was just expecting a grappling match. But I knew that my striking was a little bit better, my timing, my footwork, my power would be a little bit better than my opponent. So I was cold and confident in my game plan inside my head, and that was what happened. And I was expecting a grappling, but I could knock them out.
Last question.
John Arredondo with MMA Power Hour. Congratulations, Goichi.
Thank you so much.
That moment, walk me through that. It seemed like a very Jedi moment for you to approach, close the distance, and throw that combo to put him down. Tell me your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think it's always, this. I think what kind of in that moment I think it was my experience. You have to know the exactly timing to attack, to recover, to go and to step back, and using my footwork, using my distance, blocking the shots. I think it was all about it was because of my experience. I train a lot, not just the grappling like people think. I train a lot of striking, like pure boxing. Not I do real boxing, real kickboxing. I like to train all the fight aspects like footwork and timing, and that's what I think that's what I showed up in the cage tonight. So yeah, it was good.
All right. Thanks for the time, Goichi. Congrats on the win.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
The recording has stopped. This meeting is being recorded.
Правильно отдел ее зуба.
All right, we are now being joined by
Неправильно
Islam
отдел зуба,
Mamedov.
наоборот, это
We'll begin
сзади
with a
должно
few
быть.
questions here in the room. Go ahead, Amy.
Зуба, а ну фотку сделай одну.
Congratulations on the win. How are you feel?
Thank you. I feel great. Alhamdulillah.
He doesn't need you. So that was a hard.
Next time I no need translate.
That was a hard fought battle. Did you feel like when it went to the scorecards that you had done enough?
Что говорит?
Когда ты услышал, ну, то, что этот, объявили раздельное решение, ты подумал, что ты не сделал достаточно?
Не знаю, мне казалось, что я выиграл все... Не знаю, но мне почему-то казалось, что я выиграл все 3 раунда уверенно. Я не знаю, почему ему один судья ему отдал, по какому поводу.
Listen, I don't know. Honestly, I was thinking that I won all 3 rounds, like, with no doubts. I'm not sure why the one of the judges gave my opponent the fight.
So when those scorecards were being read, was there fear like, oh my gosh, this is going to be wrong? Or what were the thoughts going through your mind?
Да, ну в голове было, если ему отдадут, это в натуре будет абсурд какой-то. Да, казалось, что ему тоже могут отдать.
I was like, in my mind, there was like, I was thinking, listen, if this fight goes to him, it's going to be something like, you know,
Вопрос стоял,
something
за
crazy.
что ему отдавать?
Yeah, something crazy, like, and in my mind, I cannot like put together why and what he did, you know, to win this fight.
And your opponent seemed to not like this matchup. He didn't feel like you were at his level. And now you're sitting here talking to us. What do you have to say about that?
Ему не нравился этот бой, он думал, что ты не на его уровне. Сейчас какое-то чувство сидели.
Пускай теперь думает, что он не на моем уровне. Что он думал? Что... Я слышал, там говорили тоже, почему ему дали такого дебютанта, что-то он недовольный был этим. Пускай сейчас думает.
Well, now he have to sit and be unhappy that like he's not on my level, you know, why he was talking so much before the fight. I heard all this kind of stuff, but, you know, now we put everything, you know, straight.
Would you ever give him a rematch if he came back and wanted that? Because I know a lot of people online are saying this is pretty close. Half were split, half thought he won. Would a rematch be something you'd be interested in?
Если тебя попросят рематч, ты ему дашь рематч, потому что очень много людей, ну, онлайн, что очень близкий бой был, кто-то его предложил.
Ну, я не знаю, почему в его пользу кто-то отдал. Что он сделал, чтобы в его пользу что-то отдавать рематч? Не знаю даже, за что ему рематч давать. Заслужил он или нет, пусть докажет, да, рематч. Он же там вначале говорил, я слышал, что он типа, короче, не хотел со мной драться или что-то такое. Там, типа, зачем ему дали дебютанта или что-то еще такое, говорил он. Теперь пусть сам заслуживает реванша.
It's working now?
Yeah, why don't you start that one over?
Yeah, and I don't know what he have to do something, you know, to deserve a rematch because I'm telling you once again, you know, I don't know what, and I'm asking you a question, what has he done, you know, in these 3 rounds to get the victory? What has he done? Did he punch me? Did he not take me down? Did he like, he done nothing?
Thank you.
Islam, congratulations on the victory. Can you explain a little bit inside a lot of those submission attempts? Was there ever any time that you felt like he had something pretty good?
Thank you. Да, такого, ну, я готовился к нему, я смотрел его бои, изучал. давал заходить. Ну, такого, чтобы близко, чтобы он болевой сделал, такого не было. Сколько я себя знаю, мы всю жизнь боремся. И чтобы так просто легко, я, наверное, ему руку оставил бы, но там, чтобы сдаваться, такой темы не было. Если он даже руку с собой забрал бы, я бы не сдался, наверное.
Listen, before this fight, I studied him. You know, I know what his like fight style and what he was doing. He was trying to submit me, but I cannot say that he was ever close, you know, to the finish. But even if he would got close, you know, to the finish, but I was training so many years with so many good fighters, crazy fighters. I don't know. Even if got me in a good submission, I would never tap, and he had to rip off my hand to get this victory.
Were you as dominant or were you as strong as you had wanted to be from the top position? Because you did a fantastic job escaping everything, staying on top of him, forcing him to work, but it didn't seem like you were able to get as much of your offense going. Were you able to do as much as what you wanted to do?
Со своей верхней позиции сверху на низ, ты доволен своим выступлением, потому что было такое ощущение, что у тебя не получалось делать всего того, что ты хотел бы делать.
Да, я, конечно же, недоволен. Я первый критик, сам себя в первую очередь критикую. Конечно, недоволен. У меня задача была в основном постоять в стойке, но я готов был и к борьбе, и к грэпплингу. Я не думаю, что я чем-то уступал ему. Может быть, физически чуть он крепче был, а так во всех аспектах я был на голову выше него.
Yes, that's a good question. Honestly, yeah, if you ask me, I'm not happy with my performance, right? Because I believe that I'm better than him in the wrestling, in the grappling, in the ground game. And the plan for this fight was work with him in a stand-up a little bit. But the only thing I can give to him, he was I felt like he was more physically stronger than me. And overall, yeah, I'm not happy with my performance, but still, I did everything to win.
My final question, obviously several of your countrymen and teammates are on the card, Hassan, Usman, just what did it mean to you to compete on the same night as so many of the other Dagestan fighters?
Да, конечно, когда мы все вместе, обидно бывает, когда кто-то выиграл, кто-то проиграл, и когда вместе домой едем. Если все выиграют, это будет уже у всех настроение, всем будет интересно.
Yes, definitely it's better, all the team, getting into camp, we're all together, it's better motivate. But one thing is it's not good when someone wins and someone lost. So here's the last fight of our team member, Usman. And if we're going to get this victory, inshallah, we're going to get this victory, it's going to be happy road, happy way back to home.
Congratulations, Islam, on your performance. Now, you say you weren't happy with your own performance, and in the crowd, there were some boos basically from the crowd. Could you hear those boos? Did they affect you? And did you think that was warranted?
Во время боя я уверен, что ты слышал, то, что толпа там.
Да, конечно, слышал. Зрители любят экшен, они любят там кровь, интересные бои, стойки. У каждого разные стили, да, у кого-то. Он борец, я борец, но у нас это было... Заранее надо было знать, что бой будет вот такой, да. Потому что два борца, когда столкнули, они же не могут в стойке.
Well, of course, I heard all the booing and cheering from the crowd. It didn't affect me at all, but yeah, I understand, because most of the fans want exciting fights, a lot of blood and a punch exchange. But he's a wrestler, I'm a wrestler. He's a grappler, I'm a grappler. So this is what you should expect in this fight, that it's going to be scramble on the ground, and that's what it is.
Хорош, Усман, бомба. Ракета просто. Of course, he's my small brother.
So now this fun way back home.
4-0.
4-0 tonight.
Wow.
3-0 for Coach Habib.
Islam, quick question. Was it very frustrating for you because the attempts for the shoulder, for the arm, for the gogoplata, did it stop you from implementing your fight strategy?
Очень много было попыток омоплаты, в корпус.
Болевые. Да,
Болевые, и как-то это отразилось на твоем бою дальше, то, что вот.
Нет, потому что я готовился к этому. Я знал, что он будет это делать, заходить. Ну, близкого такого, чтобы он не болевой сделал, там не было такого. Ну, заходил, да, попытки были, но попытки не пытки.
No, not really, because I knew what he was going to do, you know. As I said, I was starting his fight, and there was nothing like unexpected from his side, so it didn't reflect anyhow my fight, you know, my strategy and plan.
All right. Thanks for the time, Islam. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
The recording has stopped.
Next up is Usman Nurmagomedov.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, we are now being joined by Usman Nurmagomedov. We'll begin with a few questions here in the room.
Congratulations. How are you feeling right here?
Everything is good. Thank you so much. Happy.
Did that go how you thought it would? Is that what you pictured?
Бой прошел так, как ты предполагал, по плану.
Ну, по плану у нас было работать в стойке чуть подольше, и в конце, когда останется 2 минуты, уже побороться. А так, да, алхамдулилля, все прошло хорошо.
Yeah, I was planning to finish this fight, but I didn't plan to finish it that early. I was planning to work on the feet a little bit, to take the fight on the ground, to wrestle with him a little bit, and after finish him. But it is what it is.
So why would you want to go longer? I would think most fighters want to get out quick. Is there a reason he wanted to go a little bit longer?
Почему ты не планировал сразу вот так закончить бой, а хотел немного еще больше с ним поработать?
Потому что хотел чуть-чуть показать людям свою борьбу, свой грэпплинг, насколько тяжело я тренирую в зале. Сразу заканчивать бой тоже не всегда хорошо.
I wanted to show people that I can wrestle as well, that I have a grappling, and to make a statement that I'm not only striking guy. That's why I was trying to fight for a little longer.
Well, you definitely made a statement, that's for sure. Was there something that your opponent did that made the game plan change?
Твой соперник сделал что-то такое, что тебе пришлось поменять план на бой?
Он оказался чуть-чуть крепче, чем я ожидал, но в целом нет ничего такого.
Not at all. The only thing, he is a little stronger than I thought.
So why the different game plan, or why the different outcome? If he hadn't changed, what did you change?
One more time?
Why if you wanted to go so long, why did he change what his plan was?
He didn't change. He planned to do it to fight a little longer, but he finished fight earlier because it is what it is. That's what he said.
And when do you want to get back in there?
Когда ты хочешь вернуться в следующий бой?
Надеюсь, в Москве.
I hope in Moscow in October.
Do you have an opponent in mind?
С кем-то определенным хотел бы подраться.
Кого дадут, с теми и подерусь.
Anyone, I don't care.
Thank you.
Usman, all night, all of your teammates and countrymen from Dagestan, they've just been really supporting each other. Every time you guys are here on the TV while they're doing interviews, they just cannot take their eyes off of it. Can you talk about how important it was to compete on the same night as all of your teammates?
Сегодня также выступали твои соотечественники из Дагестана, также твои одноклубники. И, например, во время твоего боя здесь давал интервью Ислам. Так же самое, когда Хаджи дрался, Хасан здесь был, и они оба смотрели бои, не могли оторваться от боя, очень переживали. Насколько это помогает тебе и придает уверенности?
Знаете, это чувствуется, вот, когда тебя поддерживают твои братья, волнуются за тебя. У нас это, знаете, у нас это, можно сказать, в крови у всех. Как это на меня влияет? Не хочется подвести своих близких. И это немного давит, но очень сильно и мотивирует тоже.
Yeah, it was a huge night for our team, for our country. And I'm very happy that we got an opportunity to fight together on the same card. And it helps a lot because we can prepare together, we can do the camp together. And it works for me as a motivation.
No, I'm not sure. I think you might be the youngest or Hassan, but you were the last to fight out of everybody of the Russians on the card. Was there a lot of pressure seeing everybody else go first?
Ты не самый младший из этой команды, но ты последний, кто дрался сегодня. Это давило на тебя как-то?
Да, я последний был и не хотел подвести всех и портить им настроение проигрышем, поэтому выложился настолько, насколько мог, и, алхамдулиллах, выиграл этот бой.
Yeah, to be honest, it gave me a little pressure because I was at the last one and all of my teammates, all my countrymen won already and I didn't want to break this celebration. So it gave me a little bit pressure, but alhamdulillah, I won.
And can I ask, your coach Habib has to be feeling very happy. He's not going to speak with us, but can I ask you, what are his thoughts on going 3-0 tonight and having just a good great time with the team?
Он говорит, у тебя Хабиб был в углу, он не может у него спросить, но он спрашивает тебя, что он тебе сказал насчет твоего боя, его смысле насчет твоего выступления.
Он сказал, хороший бой. И есть очень много ошибок. Он как только зашел в клетку, начал мне говорить, где, как нужно было тазом работать, где надо было руку отключать, где надо было что-то по-другому делать. Есть очень много ошибок, есть над чем работать. И будем исправлять и работать упорнее.
He congratulated me with the fight. He told me it was a good fight, but the first thing he said when he stepped inside the cage, he pointed me on my mistakes. We have a lot of mistakes. We'll work on them and we'll improve it.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
I just want to talk a little bit more about the front runner and easily 2021's Coach of the Year, Habib. What makes him what goes on in the training room, in the locker room before the fights that makes him such a successful coach also, beyond just a great fighter he was?
Он говорит, расскажи, как проходят тренировки и подготовка перед боем в раздевалке с Хабибом. Что он тебе говорит, что он тебе как наставляет?
Раздевалки со мной работает в первую очередь коуч Хавьер. Он настраивает меня психологически, он ставит план на бой, он говорит, как, где, когда, что нужно сделать, где надо быть, где у соперника слабые стороны, и где мои хорошие, что мне надо использовать, как. В первую очередь со мной работает Хавьер, Хабиб стоит рядом, и после того, как Хавьер закончил, Хабиб тоже дает напутствие. Это, знаете, как... Я хочу поблагодарить в первую очередь моего тренера Хавьера, потому что он столько всего делает для нас в зале. Он каждый день бывает с нами, знаете как, каждый день приходит в зал, уделяет на время, стоит в углу, смотрит спарринги, секундирует. И мы это очень сильно ценим.
Don't get it twisted. Habib is one of the most important people in my career and my life, but my head coach is Javier. So everything Javier is doing is preparing me for the fight. He make a game plan. He's point me on my mistakes. He's trying to improve my mistakes, improve my skills. And after, when he's done, Habib can add something and to add something from himself. And I want to be grateful for my head coach Javier. I'm grateful for everything he's doing to me and for our team.
Okay, great. Thank you for the time, Usman. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. No. Я с тобой, я тебе говорю.
The recording has stopped.
shit.
This meeting is being recorded.
What's up, guys?
All right, we are now being joined by Mads Burnell. We'll begin with a few questions here in the room. Go ahead.
Congratulations on the win. Can you tell us how you're feeling right now? Right here, all the way in the back.
I'm feeling good. My leg is a little busted up, but other than that, I'm good.
Is that how you saw the fight going? Did you expect to go 3 rounds with him?
Yes and no. Like I always say, I never expect to predict anything when I go into a fight. I just go in there and try to perform to the best of my ability and what me and my coaches set out to do. And then what happens, happens. But Emmanuel, he's a freaking dog, man. And he kept coming, even though I hit him with some great shots. And I was like surprised actually, because I felt like, okay, now he's starting to slow down. And I could feel, oh, he's slowing down. And then he came back with a burst. Like, what the hell? How can he keep finding like his second win? But yeah, it was pretty much how I thought it would go.
So did you go by your game plan or did you have to adjust anything in there?
No, I think actually it went pretty much as the game plan was planned out. Yeah.
When do you want to get back in there?
I see they have a card in November in Dublin. I would really like to get on that card. I've been fighting 3 fights in like 9 months. So I'm going to Greece with my family next week. I'd like to heal up and get a little vacation in and then get back in it later this year.
And how about those fans? How did it feel to be fighting?
Oh, it was so nice, man. Whew. It's like when we started slinging leather, I think it was in the first or the second, I could hear him like, whoa, whoa. It was like, yeah, let's go. That was so cool. So nice to have the what do you call it, the audience back.
So do you think now that you've fought in front of fans again, will you be able to go back to no fans if that's the case?
I mean, I got to do what I got to do to get a fight. So if that's what I have to do, that's what I have to do.
Thank you.
Thanks. I mean, yeah, I think I performed very well. Very, very well. Yes, I think I'm one of the best in the world, so of course. But like, usually I hate talking about stuff like that after my fights because I've just been into a very...
Ask me after the fight.
Yeah, no, you're doing your job. You're a reporter too, so you have to do, I thought I performed very well to fight for the title.
It was a high-risk strategy when you walked towards him. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was a high-risk strategy as you walked towards him playing peekaboo because he's a very adept striker. What made you know that you were able to take him on in that way?
Because I know I can say that hands on for sure, I'm the slickest 145er in the world. It might seem like I'm getting hit, but I'm rolling with the punches and all that stuff. And like I saw the significant strikes after the fight. I was like, what the hell, man? Of course he hit me with a little bit, but like the shots he hit me with was like nothing. I was just walking him down, like stressing him with my presence. And yeah, trying to touch. The plan was like walk him down, be in his face, because that's what he do to everybody. And don't try to take his head off with my punch. Just touch. And when he's trying to blast me back, shoot for the double. And when he try to get up, don't like fight like for your life to keep him down. Just let him get up and then boom, blast him to the body when he's trying to get away.
Couple of other quick ones for me finally. What did you make of AJ McKee's performance against Patricio tonight?
Beautiful performance. I just saw the finish, to be honest, but what I saw, that was, beautiful, calculated.
But AJ is someone that you want to take on, yeah?
Yeah, later on, yeah. Of course, if that's who I have to fight for the title, that's who I have to fight for the title. And second of all, last time when I fought in Paris, you weren't there. Oh, you did? Then it was Mohegan Sun. But I was like, man, people was asking me all kind of questions, and I see you looking hella slick with that suit and that with those glasses. Who's your fashion guy? Where do you go? We need to talk about that afterwards. I like your style, man. You're smooth as a mother. Thank you.
Mads, congrats on the win, man. Over here to your right. Do you think that was the best striking performance of your career? I know it seemed like on the microphone that was something that you really wanted to get out there. Was like, hey, everybody thinks of me for my Japanese neckties and stuff. But
so yes and no. I had a fight in Cage Warriors, my last Cage Warriors fight, where I pieced the dude up too. But I gotta fight smart. Like I always say, you need to fight with this hit and not that hit. And that's what I did today. Like I don't go in there to fight with my balls, to say it. Excuse my French. I'll try to use my proper head and fight the smartest way without taking damage. Like, yeah, and that was the plan today. I knew if I just went in there today and tried to fucking hunt the takedown, I would gas out. And he would start to do Emmanuel Sanchez, just like a machine, just start going, and you can't stop him. So yeah, just touch him, and then take him down when I could.
And I couldn't help but notice when you came in the room, your leg's a little banged up. How did that happen, and what do you think's going on there?
I tried to chew his low calf up, and yeah, that's how it happened.
Mads, I mean, I think that a lot of people saw this fight as, hey, this is your breakout kind of performance. Like, do you see yourself now being, I know you want to fight obviously on the big card, but main event type of fighter after this one?
I haven't thought about it, but yeah.
When you look at the division, obviously you want AJ. Who are some of the other guys that, because they've been locked into the tournament?
First of all, I want to say I didn't call anybody out. So what you guys trying to hear, you want this, you want that. All I want now is a Modelo and a burger, okay? That's what I want. So don't try to put something in my mouth I didn't say. I want to fight the best. We take that slowly. Slowly. We get there. Yeah, what was your question? Sorry.
How do you like your burger?
What burger I like?
Yeah.
Fat burger. We don't have fat burger in Denmark. In Denmark, we only have McDonald's and Burger King. Shit. That's why every time I go to America, it's depressing, because every time I go here, it's 2 months, and it's usually for a fight, and I can't eat all the bullshit you guys have over here. So and I see my coach, Dennis, every time I come home, I'm eating, he's right over there with the mask, yeah, looking hella slick, young Jason Statham. But, so every time I come back from practice, he's eating chicken wings, this and that, and I'm just sitting there with my salad like, fuck you, Dennis.
You get it with everything? You get it with it? You have a special
I don't know.
made?
I just go in there and say, I want that. And that's it.
Get after it. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, there were a couple of 30-27s, and there was a 29-28 there. I'm curious how you scored the fight.
I won. That's what matters. Yeah.
So going into the third round,
I think actually I won all 3 rounds. But I can see that the uneducated eye would think that I got hit quite a lot when I walked him down and behind my guard and my shoulder roll. But it's part of strategy, like picking my shots, hit him to the body. He did hit me with a very good body shot in the second or the first. I was like, holy shit, that was good. But yeah.
We all seem to be enjoying you here. Are you as funny in Danish as you are in English?
I'm like the Danish Dave Chappelle.
All right, that's it for us. Thank you very much for the time, Mads.
Thank
Congrats
you,
on the win.
guys. Have a good one.
The recording has stopped.
All right, let's just open it up.
This meeting is
Scott,
being recorded.
We good to go? All right, Scott, congratulations on a great event. Talk to me about that main event. I mean, where do you think that goes down in Bellator history for moments?
I mean, that honestly was spectacular. I mean, you guys felt the energy in that room. I mean, it was electric in there, and it had that big time, championship fight feeling. And AJ did his thing, man. He was impressive. I mean, I've seen Pitbull fight for many years, and AJ did what he had to do, took care of business, it's won the tournament, won the $1 million. I think he's very happy right now.
And I know you love talking about when you first met him, and you use him as a great example of your prospect development. But did that performance even surprise you a little bit with how quick and dominant it was?
Yeah, the very beginning of that fight, I thought Pitbull was trying to lure him in, and just kind of lure him in to start throwing his hands and start putting some power on him. But, I think that AJ completely dominated the fight, and then I think, pretty much he was out, and then he was out again. It seemed like that, it got choked out, and it was, it wasn't his night. Pitbull's a great fighter. He's been a great champion. I mean, AJ is just, he's a rising star that became a big star tonight.
Hey, Scott, right back here. Obviously, a lot of talk going into the fight was that if AJ wins, the possibility of running it back at 155 for Pitbull's title. Just your initial thoughts on that strategy or what you might have in mind for the future.
That's something that I know AJ has talked to me about it. His dad has talked to me about it, and but we haven't talked to Pitbull. I mean, listen, give the kid a little break. I'm talking about Pitbull. Give him a little break. Let him see what he wants to do. But we're going to start making some calls maybe in a week or so and see what his feeling on that is. But there will be a time where he's going to have to defend it, and I've heard rumblings that AJ, this might be his last fight at 45, that he's having a hard time making weight. So he might have to go up to 55 and fight up there. But that's something that he'll have to decide. His father and his coaches will have to decide, and it's just too premature to really determine that right now.
As the promoter, how do you build on just this moment for AJ McKee? He's already been, the homegrown star. Just how do you, what is your part now in getting him even further out there and letting more people know just how special this kid is?
I mean, I think that if you look at the promotion behind this fight, I mean, I think that the PR team, the digital team, Showtime, everybody did, all parts I felt were really in alignment, and they did a great job promoting this fight. And I think you saw it here today. I mean, it was so nice to have fans here and to feel the energy. I mean, could you imagine if this fight was in a no audience event? I mean, place where we had to do it. I mean, it wouldn't have been the same. And so, to me, AJ had a lot of fans here. You could hear him was passionate, and it was a great night.
The undercard felt like it was developing into Bellator Dagestan with Hassan, obviously Magomed Sharipov, Usman, Islam. Just can you talk a little bit about how everyone performed? And a lot of the guys seem to be, targeting that Fedor card in Moscow. Just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, we invited Usman to fight in Moscow because I don't think he's injured. So I talked to his manager before he left, and we're looking forward to having you fight again. We just want to keep him busy and keep him fighting, keep him developing. And, listen, the fighters from that region have proven that they are dangerous and have, fought many different places and had dominance in a lot of areas. So to me, it's something that we're going to find the stars or the fighters that we want to build or have them compete in Bellator, and we're going to continue to fight him. And I think you just saw a few tonight. And if you talk about the Russia card, I mean, I think we probably have, 15, 20 really good Russian athletes, CIS territory athletes, and they're dangerous athletes over there. So, we're looking for the world's best, and, they're from that region as well.
And speaking of that Russian card and also, potentially other abroad cards, are you worried about the rising COVID cases and those cards actually happening? Is there any backup plan in case that doesn't happen?
You know, I'll tell you, we are monitoring it closely, obviously. I mean, when we planned our France event, Paris event last year, when we planned it, it was half capacity. We were going to have 10,000 people there. And then COVID hit, started getting rising, and we started getting cut. It was down to 1,000 people by the time we got there. And then the week after, there was nobody allowed to even come to the country. So, you know, we're going to be monitoring it. Hopefully, like in the UK, it's fully open. I think they're 85% vaccinated in the UK. So I feel good about that event. In Russia, I know they're doing what they need to do, and my feeling is that will be fully, you know, a full scale event like this was. And you know, maybe they might have some protocols with masks and things like that. But believe me, Vicom is really about protocols and making sure that all of our athletes and our staff, our production team is safe. So that's going to be the number one priority moving forward. And if it changes, then we'll adapt. But right now, it's full steam ahead.
Would it be possible to take that entire card if, you know, you can't go to Russia, bring it back to Connecticut, or is that just?
Yeah. I mean, I think about if that Russia card, because listen, Fedor wants to fight, and these guys want to fight, so we're going to fight them. And so if Russia, you know, if they're on lockdown and COVID starts ramping up to the point where we can't do it there, then of course we would find an alternate location. If it was something that we felt was going to be a long-term situation, and we couldn't postpone it, let's say a month or two. But you know, to me, we're gonna fight those guys, and you know, if Russia doesn't work out, maybe we come back to New York or the Chicago area.
Hey, Scott, down here to your left. You watched a lot of Patricio Pitbull fights in your career here in Bellator, and he'd only been finished one time before, and it was an injury against Benson Henderson in 2016. And AJ, you know, beat him in 2 minutes and looked dominant. I mean, how do you put that into words exactly?
It's spectacular. I mean, this kid is dynamite, and I think that you know, I always felt, even AJ in his last 3 or 4 fights, you know, I felt that he was going to be a big star for Bellator, and he himself is recognizing how his ability has grown and who he can fight, and he's got a lot of confidence. This kid's got a lot of swagger. But I'll tell you, he had a lot of swagger when I met him at 17. So this is nothing for him. He's always believed in this. He's always had this as part of his destiny. Growing up in his dad's school at 3 or 4 years old, you know, and just growing up in the MMA community, this is nothing new for him. So he had a spectacular showing. It's probably one of the greatest finishes, I think, in the history of this company. And he fought a guy that was a killer. So this is not like he's, you know, fighting some guy that's just, you know, a contender. I mean, he's fighting a guy that has been the champ since we signed him back in 2014. So for the last 6-7 years, Pitbull's been the champ, and AJ's been growing and growing and growing. This was his opportunity to shine, and he took advantage of it.
Yeah, Scott. Sorry, I need the microphone. Scott, just carrying on from what Mark Raimondi was saying about AJ. It's the people, isn't it, who decide on the star and on the champion. And we, as you said, really felt it in the arena tonight. Is he potentially the catalyst for Bellator to go perhaps onto mainstream CBS, get him on big chat shows, which we perhaps haven't had so far from the
Well, there is a plan in place for sure, and next year we are looking to do some specials with you know, CBS and the parent network. But you know, right now, I just want to enjoy this moment, and AJ enjoy this moment. But him fighting on you know, big CBS, I'm sure CBS would love it. I'm sure AJ would love it. I'm sure it'd be good for everybody. So yeah, it's possible, and I'm sure that, you know, Showtime would love to have him fight on Showtime, and you know, who knows, maybe, you know, he could become you know, not just a linear star but a cable star, and then, you know, he could just, you know, take it from there. I mean, pay-per-view is a possibility. He told me he wants to box, you know, so we'll see. I mean, you know, maybe he could fight one of the the Paul brothers one day.
But it was a massive statement when he said he wanted to be the Mayweather of MMA.
Yeah.
He's taken the first step to that.
Yep, he definitely has. I mean, you saw it. I mean, the crowd loved him. You know, this kid is special, and he's not afraid of anything, and he rose to the occasion. And I think you're going to see that a lot in his future performances.
Hey, Scott, over here. We talked a lot about AJ, and he's just 26, so he's just coming into his physical prime. What do you see about him in terms of his growth as a fighter? And can you talk about the intangibles that he has? What makes him unique to handle this kind of pressure? I mean, he seemed totally at ease in front of this crowd that expected him to win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Josh, when I look at this kid, he's got striking, he's got the wrestling, he's got the jiu-jitsu, he's a complete fighter. And he's been that way for a beat, for a while. I think for the last 4, 5, 6 fights. And so, he was ready to take this step, I think, a little while ago. But when you look at what is his weakness, even I talked to his coaches before the fight, maybe a month ago, and they said this is going to be a tough fight because the kid has no weaknesses. Even they recognize that anything can happen. Pitbull is dangerous. He's got a lot of power. He's always, as far as I'm concerned, when I watch his performance in the past, he's never out of a fight. I mean, this kid has dynamite in both hands, and a great submission game. So, when I think about AJ and his game, it's going to be a tough kid to beat in the future, and this is the future of MMA. A kid that can do it all like this. And Josh, he's been doing this since he's 3, 4 years old. He grew up in the gym. This is nothing new for him. So, he's special, and his dad told me when he came into my office, 5, 6 years ago, he said, "This is the kid. He's special. I'm telling you right now." And he is right. The dad knew it. It's just part of his destiny.
Hey, doing, Scott? This is just a simple question, but can you confidently say, regardless of promotion, is AJ McKee the best featherweight in the world?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would love to see him fight, against other people as well, as you guys would also. It's not going to happen because it's not the UFC's business model to do it. But you tell me this kid couldn't go in there and fight anybody right now. We already know, everybody knows he could do it. So if they want to get it on, then we'll do it in a second. So that's how I feel.
All right, great. Thanks for the time,
Okay,
Scott.
thanks, guys.
The recording has stopped.
Next up is AJ McKee.
Woo! Damn, this is a lot to get used to. Hands is full. I don't even know what to do with myself.
This meeting is being recorded.
Oh yeah, this is hard work, determination.
All right, we are now being joined by featherweight world champion AJ McKee.
AJ, over here to your right. First and foremost, congratulations on the win. I know this is something that you've envisioned for a long time, and as you sit up there right now, I mean, does it feel as sweet as you expected it to?
Yeah. It's been 22 years in the making, so man, to do it the way I did it, I said I was gonna do it in a stylish fashion, you know. Done in one. When I rocked him, I was just like, that's it. I just knew it, you know. After the head kick, I hit him with that uppercut, and I don't know. I saw him quit. He didn't need it anymore. But like the ref says, don't stop punching until I tell you to. Shout out to 50.
You made your Bellator debut in April 2015, and you talked about numerous times in the past how Pitbull was the guy that you always had your sights set on. So when you envisioned that fight over time throughout the years, I mean, was that what you expected here tonight, a quick finish like that, or did you think that it was going to be more of a battle?
Honestly, I dreamt the fight. I knew I won the fight. I prayed about it, and same night I had a vision. So I knew I had victory, but it wasn't the dream that I had, which is peculiar. So looking into it now, maybe that's the 155-pound title that I saw, you know, and I don't know. I'm just enjoying this moment, man. I knew it was gonna come. Just having favor in the Most High and just staying prayed up and blessed up, you know. This is his moment, shine through me.
And everybody's always referred to your stardom as star potential, and I think tonight people saw that you are a star. That crowd out there was wild. You're the #1 trending topic in the United States right now on social media. Ooh. I mean, were you even surprised at the ovation you got out there and everything that transpired?
Nah, I knew it, man. I sold more in tickets than I get paid. Like, I knew this whole arena was there for me, but you know, it's just phenomenal to have that much support. You know, the only thing that could compare to that was when Alima Lay fought in Hawaii and I was on her card. So I knew what kind of to expect from the crowd, you know, and it was just surreal, man, to have all those people there just behind you, you know what I mean? Doing it not just for you, your family, yourself, but for the city. And man, it's just a blessing.
You mentioned you waited 22 years for this, and that is not a long time. When you think about, you know, how long other champions have waited to become champions. So what's next? You have a long career ahead of you.
Champ. You know, technically these are one. So for me, it's to make this become two. Yeah, that's the next step, you know. Being at 145 pounds isn't the easiest. Maybe we get some super fights going, but I'm pretty much done with the division at 145 pounds. So hop up to 155 pounds, you know. He's the best 145er. Was the best. I've pretty much been saying it, you know. Now people are seeing it. People are believing it. I am the best 145 pounder in the world. Whether it's UFC, ONE FC, PFL, I don't care who it is. I got $1 million cash in my bank. I'm willing to put that up against anybody else. You know, I'm sure Showtime, Bellator, they'll match it. Let's do some super fights. Let's get some big stuff going. Let's change the sport like I've been saying. We can do it. Unify these belts.
Was this your last featherweight fight?
Depends. Depends. It honestly depends. It depends on who steps up to the line. You know what I mean? Health is key. Making 145 pounds I can do it. You know what I mean? But as I get older, as I get bigger, as I get stronger, as I become more of a man, obviously it's going to get harder and harder and harder. So I've been wanting to move up. COVID, so forth, things have come into play to where it's kept me here a little bit longer than I expected. But man, God's time is perfect timing, and I'm enjoying it all, embracing it all in this moment.
And sometimes we see fighters or celebrities, you know, get their fame real young and kind of lose themselves. How do you plan on staying grounded?
I lost myself before the fame came. Straight up. So, yeah, I'm ready. Embrace it all, you know, live your best life and just stay focused, man. And like I said, man, this wasn't my victory tonight. This was a man upstairs. This was his victory.
AJ right here. Did you have nachos backstage?
I did not.
It's all good.
And my dad ate my damn Snickers. I was looking forward to it, but he ate it, so I'm bummed.
Can you talk about the team you had with you? Obviously, Dad was in the corner, but I saw Rampage Jackson, who obviously you've known for such a long time since you were a kid. Can you talk about your corner?
So my corner, Pops, you know, he's always the head. Rampage was the second. He's been there through this journey, watching me. You know, I remember when he was fighting in his Pride days. You know, we'd go up to Big Bear. He was doing his camps up there. And just watching him, you know. So from that, and then him putting on his own amateur shows to being able to fight on the amateur shows, winning his amateur division. And that was the fight Scott came to. So I didn't even know who Scott was at the time. But just to have people there in the audience scoping you out like that, you know what I mean? And just feeling and knowing what I was capable of. Like, I'm going to go put on a show, and I'm going to steal the show, and I'm going to be a champion. Like, that was the goal that night, you know what I mean? That was the goal tonight. And it's nice to see all the hard work pay off.
Can you talk a little bit? Were you able to exchange any words with Pitbull after the fight? Anything else?
Yeah, he said he wasn't out. Maybe he wasn't satisfied, but I could put him out again. He's got that 55-pound title, so like I said, champ. I want all them belts.
I know competitively you obviously want that strap, but personally, the rivalry, is it, as they say, is it over? Or is it, you know, do you feel like there's still more to be said between you two, even if he wasn't the champion, for example?
He's not satisfied. We can do it again. I got no problem. He didn't land a punch. I'll give you another opportunity.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How you doing, sir? Real quick question. What are you going to do with that big giant check? I mean, like literally the check. Are you going to frame it?
Frame it for sure. I don't know. Might auction it, something. Who knows? We'll figure it out one day. Figure it out one day.
If you do, make sure you make it like a a TikTok video of you going to the bank and trying to deposit it.
That big ass thing? Will they even take it?
You're the champ. I don't know.
Will they? They're gonna be like, sign them back. I'm gonna be like, there's no spot for that. Like,
also, the head kick, is that something you always envisioned from the very first time you saw Pitbull fight, or is it very particular to this camp?
Yeah, no, it wasn't the head kick, but I knew it was gonna be a left kick. We have video footage of me saying, quoted, it will be a left kick, either the body or the head. So maybe we can release that too now. Like I said, it's just adapting while you're in there and being able to dissect things. I knew he watched me training in the backstage, so he was going to stay to the right and kind of keep his distance and watch the teep kicks coming forward. So I thought I'd switch it up, show him my absolute lengthiest range, and tell him if he comes forward that something tragic's going to happen. So I was throwing the John Jones kicks to his knees, let him know, like, if you come in here, you're going to have to deal with something. And then he threw that one jab, and that was it. He was like, geez, he read that. You know what I mean? So it was just keeping him at bay. That was the key, you know? And then I start attacking the outside leg. He didn't like that outside leg kick, you know? And that was only one of them. So from there, he started circling to the opposite way. At that point, now I'm thinking attacks left side, but he was so focused on the left hand, he didn't think anything about the kicks.
AJ McKee, 18-0. Every victory's been in Bellator. It's a rarity these days. Would you say with confidence, $1 Million Man, that you are the face of this promotion?
Hands down. Hands down. I've been here. I've been the man since I stepped in this cage.
Of these three names at 145, who would you say would be the biggest challenge for you?
None of them.
Max Holloway, Brian Ortega, or Alex Volkanovski?
I would say Max Holloway. That was always my dream fight, super fight as a kid. You know, I've watched him just pick apart people. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm the best 145-pounder in the world. The world. I don't care who it is. I'm going to show up and show out every time.
What's the first thing you're going to purchase with that $1 million?
Can I please? GT2 RS, baby? Is that or a Ducati? I keep trying to get that or a Ducati, but he doesn't want me on two wheels. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. We'll see. I read that quote, you know, if you can't buy it 10 times, don't buy it. So that GT2 RS, I need about another $3 million. So I don't know yet. We'll see. We shall see. I really have no idea. I haven't even processed that yet.
AJ, congratulations.
Thank
My favorite part of your walkout was when you threw all the money. Whose idea was that? Was that your idea?
Yeah, actually, well, I think Pops came up with it, you know? We call him the wizard. He comes up with all kind of things. Especially me just trying to be the money man, you know what I mean? Trying to set the bar high and show people, like, at the end of the day, the money isn't the motive, but it's nice to have it in the bank. So, you know, I think that's going to be my new thing, making it rain when I walk out.
And when I talked to you before the fight, I asked you what's going to be your celebratory dinner. What is the first thing you're going to do once you leave this venue? Is it going to be popping bottles of champagne, or do we have Krispy Kreme on the way already?
Well, we already popped one bottle, so we might as well keep it going. I got a little after party going, so I'm going to go hang out with all my friends and family and just enjoy the night. Maybe
Okay.
get some Mastros on the way delivered there. We'll see.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's Gareth and then Josh. AJ, congratulations.
Thank you.
Obviously, you mentioned Inglewood as well for the victory, but maybe you could say a few words about your father. It's always by his side. We all know him. He never stops talking about him. But maybe you could say about getting to this point and what it would have been like without.
I don't think I'd be here without him. Actually, I wouldn't be here without him. That's a fact. Just going through the things that I went through early on, he's kind of just sat by my side and let me take my own course, you know? He's not like a parent that's gonna tell you, you have to do this, you have to do this. Like, at the end of the day, he never wanted me fighting because he knows what this sport is about. Him being a first generation fighter coming in, making $50, fighting in wrestling shoes. Like, it was a different world, you know what I mean? To now, we got $1 million checks. There's actually a reasonable amount of money in the sport. So he's like, man, you're different, but you have to realize you're different and put the work in. If you don't put the work in, then it's like you're just wasting your talent. So over the years, he's just kind of kept me by his side, kept me by his side until, like, I'd say about last 6 months. 6 months ago, he gave me the clear to just become my own man. And I can honestly say, when I look in the mirror now, I look and I'm like, damn, you are becoming your own man at 26. Like, doing things on your own, you know what I mean? Taking care of my 15-year-old brother. So it's like I'm taking on roles where you don't have time to be a kid and to mess around and play, you know what I mean? You gotta just focus, buckle down, and just, man, adapt. You know, that's the key to life. It's the key to fighting. You know, when things get rough, when things go hard, what are you gonna do? Either you fold, give in, or you bite down and you buckle up. Definitely. Definitely. If I'm knocking people out first rounds, run it back. Let's go 2 months from now. What's up? Especially if I'm going up to 55s. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, AJ, congratulations.
Thank you.
You talked about the fight before that, your grandfather, Lefty, had his commemoration in your house and your dad had a championship belt, and now you have that as well. Can you just talk about what that means to you?
Man, it's just, this is the beginning to my legacy. And now I could go get my picture taken, you know what I mean? Put mine next to my dad's, you know? I've stared at that thing for years. Like, I'm gonna get that one day. I'm gonna get that one day. Even my amateur belts, like, they're cool, but this is something different right here. You know, this is it's all his hard work, all my hard work, and it's all put together. The time, the days in, the days out, the hard work, the blood, the sweat, the tears, like everything all together. So I don't know, man. It's surreal. I still haven't. How many names are on this? 16. That's the one. That's going right above my bed. We can put this one in the gym, Dad. This one going above my bed.
And you're 26, and you're just now entering in your physical prime. I asked you before the fight, do you feel like a man? And you said, yeah, you're starting to feel physically like a man. How much better of a fighter can you be 5 years from now than you are today?
That's a good question. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Keep reaching new plateaus, stay in the gym. I'll be in the gym Monday. No days off, That's, even though I won a world championship, like, right back in the gym. I got teammates that need me. They need to learn. They need to adapt and evolve as well. So And like I said, I'm the older one in the gym. Jesus, like, you know what I mean? Like I was always that young kid. So like now I'm the older one. Like I gotta motivate these guys and show them like this is how you become the best. The countless days in, the countless hours. So that's what I'm looking forward to is getting back in the gym and sitting down with my father, my manager, and see what's next. Sit down with Bellator as well.
Last thing for me, can you share your day with us? Where did you sleep? Where'd you wake up? What did you think about? How'd you feel before this moment, hitting the forum and knowing what was in front of you?
I woke up. I tried to go downstairs and eat. Funny thing, 11:11 is what time we got downstairs. The guy closed the restaurant. No, you guys can't sit down and eat. So I had to go get food. And I'm like, man, like whatever. Like I'm not missing breakfast. This is a must. So we went to go grab some food, came back, ate the food, went to sleep, woke up, stressed out about some tickets a little bit because I don't know. I'm like my dad. I stay busy, and in the chaoticness, we find comfort, which is kind of weird. You know what I mean? It keeps our mind busy and focused on everything else besides what we need to focus on. But in the back of our mind, we're still focused the entire time. So like I just kept doing things after and after and after, you know, one after another. Got the tickets taken care of. Got the sweatsuits taken care of for everybody. Got dressed. What did we do? Then we went downstairs, hopped on the bus, came to the venue, and that was it.
Once you got here, you felt at home.
Oh yeah. Once I got here, I went out and saw the arena, saw how many people were here. I wanted to just kind of embrace it. You know what I mean? Just to know how much went into this moment, you know, from Showtime to Bellator to all my friends, my family, like they're all here. So I just wanted to go out there and show them some love beforehand and get warmed up, man. It's motivation, you know, just embracing it. And I think that's the big key is a lot of fighters aren't able to embrace it. So that's a big key is embrace it, embrace it, embrace it. Like I love the cameras now.
AJ back here. You talked about the 7 O's at, you know, the one at the end of the checks, your one at the end of your record. Now you finally accomplished that. How do you feel?
I feel accomplished, but I'm ready for another goal, you know? Like the song I wanted to walk out to, Hippie Sabotage, it's never enough. It's never enough, you know? Till I'm making them Floyd checks, 100 mil, it's never enough. And even when I make that, it's still not enough.
Now, Rampage talked about that you would be your dad's revenge on this sport. Do you feel like you've done that already?
Nah, this is just the beginning. We are finally getting the respect and recognition we deserve, but now you got a price to pay for the disrespect. Nothing goes unsolved.
First of all, big congratulations. You did it. I gotta ask you this. Where do you place yourself on the pound for pound list of all divisions?
Number one.
And then Scott mentioned that you're thinking of boxing. He mentioned the Paul brothers. But realistically, look, Bellator is on Showtime. Showtime have a lot of boxing. Which Showtime fighter would you be interested in fighting?
Floyd.
And what would happen in that fight?
I would have a lot of respect for him. Straight up. I'm the best at my sport. He's the best at his sport. I would just enjoy sharing that moment with him. You know what I mean? He's like my dad. I call my dad my antique. If you're going hard with my antique in the gym, I'm gonna fuck you up. Straight up. Be careful. You hurt my antique, we got a problem. So it's like these younger guys that aren't in the sport like that, no disrespect, but they have something to prove. I don't have anything to come into this boxing sport and prove against Floyd. Like, it's just me wanting to be acknowledged as the best in my sport and sharing a moment with another great in his sport. And that's where I would enjoy that moment. And hopefully it'll happen one day. He told me he doesn't fight anymore. So I'm like, all right, cool. But you never know, man. You never know.
My last question. You looked at your phone. How many text messages, how many phone calls have you gotten since the fight ended?
Shit, I'm still scrolling, dog.
Congratulations.
Should we check this one?
Oh, 2 phones.
Yeah, that's more problems.
You're going to get back to everybody?
Look, you saw how far I was scrolling? This is the phone nobody's supposed to have. Fuck, bro.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, AJ.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. For sure. Are they heavy? Yeah, I still haven't figured out how to hold them, really.
The recording has stopped.
And also, Patricio will be coming after AJ.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, we are now being joined by Patricio Pitbull.
Pitbull, straight back here. Patricio, obviously the fight didn't go the way you expected. Can you just give us your initial thoughts after everything now that it's been a minute?
In this night, he was great. He kicked my head, and he almost knocked me out, and he almost finished me at the same night. So he was good. Congratulations. Now he is the champion.
Did anything surprise you about what he brought out there? Was he faster, stronger, or anything in that little bit you fought?
No, I knew that. It was a mistake. I was used to that, but he was very well this night.
We spoke with AJ recently. He said that he talked with you a little bit and said that you told him that you were not out. Can you just tell us your side, what you said to him?
Yeah, I watched the fight. I knew I wasn't asleep, but I saw my hands like this slowly. I was standing, but hands, rules. That's it. A fighter want to fight to the end. That's my mind.
There was a lot of talk about what's next, like would you want to run it back at 155? Do you want to stay at 145? Can you just talk a little bit about what you think might be next for you?
I spent a lot of years without being defeated, and today is a new day for me. It's a different kind of feeling, and I want to rest a little bit, enjoy my son, my wife, but I will come back stronger. I know that. Everyone say that one get a defeat, but I am different.
Patricio, right down here in front of you, you say that this is a feeling you haven't experienced much in a long time. I think 2016 was the last time, and that was an injury. So do you feel like in a weird way that this could kind of light a fire under you and make you have even more motivation going forward?
I'm always motivated, I don't know. My debut was in 2004, and now I have a lot of years fighting and dedicate myself in this game. And I'm hungry every time, but I know now I need a break, little break.
You have your son here with you, and I'm curious if you're going to use this experience to show him what it's like to lose. How you respond to a loss.
I already told him, son, today was a bad day, but it's part of the life. And for me, he's happy. He's little boy, and he doesn't understand very well, but I know he's gonna remember this.
What was his favorite part of fight week?
Stay with my family and bring them to the chaos, but he's still in love with them. It's nice.
Patricio, over here to your right, Gareth here. You were asked just now, obviously you're going to have time to think about it, and we know how competitive you are and how motivated you are. Is it possible in a week's time where you think, do you know what? This guy just took the 145 belt from me. I want to fight the same guy at 155.
You said that?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm asking you if maybe in a week's time.
Before the fight, I think he told somebody something like this, and it's a good thing. You know, he beat me in the featherweight division. I know he's big. He has trouble to cut weight, and let's think about it. I have a belt. I still a world champion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If we do something like that, this time I'd like for it to be in Brazil. This guy's been here for 10 years, double champ, winningest fighter in Bellator history, most title defenses. Why are we fighting in Los Angeles? He's the champ. We're fighting in the challenger's hometown. Next one, great, he won. Give it all to him. He slept in his own bed. He's a legend. His dad's a legend here, born and raised here. He's born and raised here. 99% of the fans cheering for AJ. We're in his house, yet he's the double champ. Great, he won. Let's do it in Brazil next. For one time, bring it to Brazil for the champ.
Was it disappointing that they were booing
you? I'm used to it, but it's been part of the game. I'm fighting his house. It's normal. I don't care.
All right. Thank you very much for the time.
Brazilians don't care, but Americans do. 16 games in NFL are played to get home field advantage. 180 in baseball. He's the world champ. I mean, when you ask a warrior, hey, where do you want to fight? They say anywhere, anytime. But obviously not in the hometown of the challenger, giving them all the advantage, the youth, the range, the reach, and then throw all the home field advantage where he's sleeping and training in his own gym. We traveled 36 hours to get here. I mean, let's switch it up one time.
That's why he's my coach. I need someone like him. He's right. I agree.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Can you say it again? Just thank you to everyone who was sharing for me. I am good. My mother was crying, and I know it's a bad night for us, but it's the sport. Let's do it again.
All right. Thanks, Patricio.
Still the champ. Still got a world title.
The recording has stopped.
Thank you.
That concludes our post-fight media availability. Thank you all for joining us.